two legends coming in here every Wednesday, man, for Workbook Wednesday. We're going to break down all things football-wise and all things real. But we got two legends, man. I don't know if you know this. But Noel Mazzone, Josh Booty's going to join us. Noel Mazzone's been everywhere, from working with Tommy Tuberville at Auburn to Ole Miss, with Dennis Erickson many times from Oregon State, 49ers. Worked with Chuck Amato, I believe, back in North Carolina State, where he coached Phillip Rivers. He's been everywhere. He's worked for Ed Ogeron, Eric Mangini, everywhere. Dave Wanstead, Randy Shannon. He's been all over the place. Josh Booty is plus Mazzone was also at UCLA under Jim Mora, and then had a run with Kevin Sumlin at Arizona and Texas A&M. So he's been everywhere. Then he went over to the USFL when it started a few years ago. So he's coached literally at every single level. Josh Booty is a two-time, two-star athlete, football, baseball, and comes from a heralded family, and we get the privilege to have them both on Wednesdays. So shout out to those two guys. And Bailey, I don't know how you can bring them in two at a time. Look at these flat dicks. God damn it.
Can't hear you guys.
You can't hear us?
You can't hear us?
I can. Let's do this.
Hey, Josh. Hey, Josh, can you turn your camera sideways? Your phone?
Yeah, baby. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
There we go.
No,
there we go.
No, you might. You're muted. Unmute your mic.
Now, can you hear us? we can't hear you now, Mazzone.
No's muted.
How's that?
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah.
There we go.
Wait.
Oh! Look at that.
Went old school on you, brother. Went old school.
God damn. Hey, can you give a quick story real quick? You didn't even get to hear my you didn't even get to hear my intro for you, but can you give your favorite play that you created when you took the USFL job a few years ago? What'd you call it?
The USFL job?
Yeah. What'd you call your favorite play that you created?
Oh, is that the one I got from you?
Hey, what'd you call it, though? Didn't you call it?
Did I call it Big Dog?
No, you call it Slap Dick.
Slap Dick. That's right. Slap Dick. Hey, here's the best part. Hey, best part, Smitty. He drew it up on a bar napkin. All right. Freaking mailed it to me. Said, put this bitch in. So I put it in. All right. We scored 4 touchdowns on it.
Are you serious? A bar napkin.
What was it?
The
polecat?
Hey, Smitty, hey, Josh, tell him the best coaches create plays drinking on bar napkins.
It ain't about pros. It ain't about the Joes, the Jimmies and Joes. It's about the X's and O's, baby.
Hey, man.
JB, a quick bar napkin. I go into Galveston Ball High School. This is years and years ago. All right. Pat Culpepper's the head coach. All right. You go in the back of Galveston. Obviously, you've been in Galveston Ball High School. It's like in the hood, right? So you go back up, you walk up these old stairs, you go in. So I'm sitting there and I'm talking to Coach Culpepper. We're kind of bullshitting. I look, and behind him, he's got 4 framed bar napkins with drawings on them, right? So finally I go, Coach, I just got to ask, what is that? He looked at me and said, no, he said, I was a GA at University of Texas. Darrell Royal was the head coach and Emery Ballard was the offensive coordinator. He said, I was taking him on a recruiting trip through West Texas. And after every home visit, we found the nearest bar, and these two coach guys sat down and drank beer till they threw us out. And he said those were the bar napkins they invented the wishbone on.
Damn,
that's legendary stuff right there.
Hey, you know what? I recruited Galveston Ball for years. Kimball Anders was the head coach. Remember?
Yes, played at Houston.
Yeah, and played for the Chiefs when I was there. So we actually knew each other, and we actually so I'd recruit the shit out of it, even if they didn't have no players, but they always had players. I brought a bunch of players to Indy and Garden City, so they always had dudes down there. And
they got real guys. Yeah.
good food too. Good seafood. It ain't Louisiana Josh Booty good food, but it's good food, man. It's good food. What's been going on, man? What have you guys been doing, man? Hanging out?
Man, I'm just trying to hang with Coach Noel a little bit more in Scottsdale. You know what I'm saying? It's getting a little cooler now because the damn summer's so damn hot in Scottsdale. I don't want to go for 3 months to see him. But now October's coming here in a month or so. It's football season. Then we got the winter holidays and then spring training. So Scottsdale's going to be a fun place to be the next 6 or 7 months. I can't wait to hang.
Hey, I'm there all the
Perfect
time.
weather. That's all.
I'm there with our buddy Pat Perez all the time, so I'll be there.
I love Pat Pete.
Hey, you guys got to come out here. I just bought a fucking yacht, Noel.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to hide that money, isn't it, JB?
No, I ain't no money.
Hey, big money. Netflix paid them well. Netflix paid them well.
You can't
Netflix didn't give me a goddamn. Netflix didn't do shit but blackball me. No, fuck them. Hey, let's dive into some football, man. The season just started. College football started over the week. What's your guys' both big takeaways from college football? We got to get you guys' take. I guess your pros and your cons from the start of it. Am I the only pessimistic cat on planet Earth that thinks college football is just shitty now, or is that everybody? I don't know. Ooh. What do you guys take? What's your guys' biggest takes from the first week? Georgia Tech. Well, Florida State lost twice. Florida State lost twice in a week. So go ahead and give me your guys' take.
You want to start, Coach? You may hit it.
Go ahead and hit it, JB. I'll follow up.
Well, I think the rich get richer. I mean, you look at Georgia, you look at teams like Ohio State, Oregon, Miami, the teams that are in the portal paying these transfer guys a bunch of money are the ones really, putting themselves on the map. And of course, it's a lot of the blue bloods that we've known for a long time, but those are the teams with the power, the strength to bring in players. Texas is one, of course. You look at the top of the heap, and they're all teams that have either paid their quarterbacks a lot of money. They have huge contracted players, transfer portal guys too as well, and they stack their teams. I mean, Alabama's the one team probably that lost a little bit of talent, and of course lost their head coach and Nick Saban, and looked like they rebounded nicely, especially on offense. DeBoer did a great job with Milroe. He looked good. I know they played Western Kentucky, but they totally dominated. I think they had 40-something first half points. I mean, they absolutely hammered Western Kentucky. So kind of glad to see Bama start off the way they did. I know Georgia goes to Bama and Tuscaloosa this year. That's going to be one heck of a game. You got Ohio State going to Oregon late in the season. That's going to be another one. And then Georgia has to go play Texas. Ole Miss looks good. Lane Kiffin, Jackson Dart, they played well. Cam Ward, Miami, just absolutely throttled, the Gators. And I really worry about Napier making it through the first half of the season, not even the full season, just the first half. It could get really ugly there. And then Brian Kelly at LSU didn't do enough to win that game. And of course, Dabo got throttled. And so, there's a lot of storylines leading into week 2.
No doubt. Coach, no, before you give yours, what is your take on Billy Napier? Actually, to me, when I saw Florida leave the field for the last time last year and enter the field for the first time this year, the exact same team. Nothing changed. Like up front, they still got a 450-pound 3 technique that's nowhere near to be in shape to play a football game in that level. And I'm like, what are we doing? Like, it seems like it was the exact same team. And to me, that just screams going through the motions now. I don't know. Billy Napier make it through the season? I don't think he does. What's your take on that?
No, he's not. He's dead man walking.
Yeah,
I don't think so. I agree. And here's what I think, like follow up with Josh, is that I think TV is getting exactly what they want. They're getting another version of the NFL and college football. There's gonna be 20 to 32 teams that have got the players, the level of plays up. They're gonna go grab all the good players, and they're gonna get their 12-game playoff. They're going to get like AFC, NFC. They're going to get the big TV ratings. They're going to get all that, and they're going to run college football. And I think at some point they just separate themselves and become their own college football league, right? And then everybody else is just all they are now is kids. Now there's got to be more walk-ons, right? 105 scholarships they're talking about, the portal, all that. So now basically a high school kid basically has to go to single A ball or double A ball and hope that someday one of these top 30 teams or this league of major college football or Power 5 comes down and drafts his butt and pays him some money so he can go move on to the NFL. So they've created what they've wanted. They wanted a caste system of football now in college, and that's what they got.
I was gonna add to that Florida Napier thing, because I was thinking about it when Coach was answering the question. Is, Napier's going to have to go with DJ Lagway because that's the excuse, right? They're playing the toughest schedule in the history of college football, and you're going to play it with a freshman quarterback. That's a recipe for disaster. As good as DJ Lagway is, as fine of a player as he is, as good of a family that he has, there's no way he can manage that situation without a big-time running game to be a freshman and to have that looking kind of down the pipe for him. I mean, that's just tough, and that the fans are going to want him in there. So I don't see how Napier could ever survive, game 8, game 9, game 10, game 11. You're talking about playing the horses are all coming through there, and it's the toughest schedule of all time. So it's going to be very hard for a freshman, and the fans are going to need Lagway to be in the game because they're thinking about next year already. To be honest with you, I think even after week 1.
That's crazy.
I have a question for you, kind of looking at the other side, looking at Miami and the U. Obviously, Cam Ward first game suiting up for the squad. How do you guys feel about Miami's chances of actually being a true contender this year? Kind of look at their overall schedule. Like their schedule is favorable if they're able to just kind of if Cam Ward can play consistent. I think that team could end up losing maybe 1 or 2 games this year and being like a true contender. But we'd love to hear you guys' opinion on that. Coach, we can't hear you again for some reason.
He's muted.
Is he muted?
It's like every football team out there. It's like every football team out there, Smitty, is that I'm a damn good football coach with Phillip Rivers as my quarterback, right? You got to have the trigger guy, and that's what Miami has missed I can't remember when, all right? And now I believe Cam is a trigger guy. They got all the other pieces. All right. And now all of a sudden they become a contender. So it always comes down to that guy. And if you look at all the college teams that now have become noticeable or actually are in the mix now, they've either gone out and got it through the transfer portal, because nobody develops guys anymore, right? I mean, if he ain't good, let's go. Who's going to sign a high school quarterback anymore? Come on. I mean, when I could go get Cam Ward.
Yeah.
All right. So it's just like when you're lucky enough to go find that, be able to get that quarterback that's got some experience and then plug him in. Hey, all of a sudden you're a contender.
I think in the ACC too, you got Clemson, who looked anemic on offense. They got nothing really that can blister defenses on the outside on the perimeter. So they're not going to score a whole lot of points. They're a top 10 defense. We saw that against Georgia, but Georgia wore them out. They were on the field. Clemson's defense was on the field the whole time, and then Florida State, they like you said, they lost twice in the first week. Those are the 2 other teams in the conference that people are scared about when the season started. And so Miami with Cam Ward, he made them a believer, right? I mean, all those players are going to feed off that. He made that Florida Gator defense look slow, and he looked like he was a player making plays. And I think that was the difference in what we've seen from Miami quarterbacks. And then Cam Ward was the guy made plays outside the pocket. He threw the ball on the run. He was accurate. He ran when he should have. He threw when he should have. He took what they gave him. He's a dynamic player that's played a lot of football. And so those guys are going to really ride him in terms of confidence and in terms of the rest of the season. I think Miami's got a great shot at making the playoffs. And it's because that conference is not that loaded on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, North Carolina might score points, but they lost Drake May. North Carolina State's okay. Who in that conference can really stand up and beat Miami or run the tables? Really, Miami could run the tables, and that's what worries me about the rest of the conference.
It's got to be Georgia Tech, right? Now.
Yeah,
probably.
Let me ask you something. Boston College looks good with Bill O'Brien. Let me ask you guys something, both of you guys, because you got a family member, General Booty, who transferred from Oklahoma and goes over to Monroe. And Noel, I got to ask you, is it double-edged sword, the portal, grabbing a quarterback that we won't recruit high school anymore? You just eloquently stated. So we won't do that. We'll go get a Cam Ward. But will it also bite you in the ass in the sense of what Florida State's going through with DJU? Family friend of mine. I coached with his family forever. I've coached with his uncle and dad forever. but is it biting him in the ass? And Mike Norvell right now, Mike's a good friend of mine as well as yours. Do you see it going both ways here? Because I see a lot of biting the ass too, and you miss that one guy, you don't get any more development. You're not developing anybody, to your point, no more. And there's no high school development, which to me used to, like, you know, that's what I got off on. Getting a guy that wasn't supposed to be good and getting him better because I thought that was the coach to do it. Nowadays, you don't even get to see a coach really show if he's a good coach or not. We're just getting guys and saying there are guys after 1 year. Hence, our boy in SC that just brings Caleb over, wins a Heisman, and then he's back off to the NFL. I just don't know if we're developing anything, and I think it's biting us in the ass at the end of the day.
Yeah. I think absolutely, JB. And I think, the unicorns out there, right? Miller Moss, Nussmeier. Those guys are few and far between now that got stepped into programs, waited their time. They're in their third year, which is how it used to be, right, JB?
Yeah.
Hey, maybe you're on the scout team as a freshman, and then as a sophomore, oh my God, I made the travel team. You're just hoping to make the travel team, right?
Hell yeah.
Now your freshman walks in, he goes, "Wait, you're not going to play me? You're not going to start me? Hey, I'm out." Right? So, you're right. It's a double-edged sword, and it's going to be exactly like the NFL. You know how many first-round quarterbacks that were drafted that you don't even remember their names right now to save a program, right?
Hey, how many five-star quarterbacks in your career got you fired? And I don't mean you. I mean coach. I mean us, coaches. I mean coaches, not just like how many five-star guys. Stars will get you fired. That's what we used to say in the coach's office. These fucking stars will get us fired. How many times have you seen that though in your career coaching for as long as you have?
A ton. I tell you, I did a study a while back. I took 10 years of Elite 11, right? The finals and that group of quarterbacks, and whatever it was, 100 and some kids. And I went back and tracked them, looked at their careers, and 25% of them actually started for more than 1 year at a major college. 25%.
Wow.
All right. So I go back to the whole thing is, all right, how are we evaluating these kids? Is it all, are we signing guys off of 7-on-7 leagues?
Yes.
Are we watching, and nowadays you have to offer a kid when he's a damn 8th or 9th grade quarterback. So, a kid hasn't even taken a varsity snap, and he's got 8 Power 5 offers. Hey, that's just the landscape the kids live in. It's not their fault, but that's what the landscape we've created, right?
Think about that.
Josh, you went through that. Josh, did you have anything to say to General, like in that regard? Say, hey, man, stick it out here, or you need to go now because the landscape's changed.
I wanted him to stick it out because I wanted him to see what big-time college football was about for several years, and him and Dylan Gabriel were best buddies. But it came to a point where it was his junior year. He had 2 full seasons of eligibility left, and I said, you've got to go play ball at this point. Now, if he would have beat out Jackson Arnold or something like that, of course I wouldn't never discourage him if he was right there on the cusp of potentially starting or playing. But I knew Jackson was their guy. He had signed a $2 million NIL deal, and I said, listen, the writing's on the wall. Unless something happens with Jackson Arnold, he's the Elite 11 MVP. Those guys get so much hype coming into college that you got to start thinking about where to go and play and have you a team. And I think UL Monroe, of course, it's close to where we grew up too, and we knew a lot of people there. So it was an easy transition for General because he grew up in Shreveport, Louisiana till he was about a freshman in high school. So everybody knew our family in Louisiana. That was an easy transition for him, and it was his team. And so I think there's like Coach said, 25% of the Elite 11 guys play more than 1 year, start one more year of college football. So think about that stat. How many really make the NFL? 1 out of 11? So, or 2 out of 11 maybe some years. So you're talking about 10% of the best high school players in the country, their senior year make the NFL. It's just the NFL's not for everybody, and it's not for long. So it's like, you got to get yourself in a good situation. I saw a trivia stat the other day. You guys probably have heard this one, but we've only got one quarterback that's ever been elected or inducted into the NFL Hall of Fame that was a Heisman Trophy winner. These college teams are stacked. And when you get to the NFL, it's a totally different ball game. You get chosen usually by the worst team, and they got to go play the best teams instead of being on the best team and play the worst teams. And so guys like Matt Leinart, and I love Matt, he gets drafted, and he's a superstar in college, but then he gets drafted to a team where maybe he can win. Maybe he's not as good as the other teams that they play, not as good as SC was against other teams in college, and he doesn't have that great of a pro career. And it's because at the NFL, it's a different type of athlete, different type of level, and you got to really, really, really want it. And a quarterback it's all about the team. It's not about you. And Brady says it perfect. He's like, I took less money because I knew the team was more important. And he tells that to all those rookies every year when they get together, that, hey, this is bigger than you. You know what I'm saying? And that's the only way that you can win. I think the people that buy into that and know how precious it is to do everything right, like Manning and Breeze and Roethlisberger and Rivers and Brady, those are guys that have those long-term careers, is because they just do everything right and they're so consistent and they make everybody feel a part. And those Elite 11 guys, some of them are too big for their own britches. They think they're going to do this and that, and then they look up and the time's over.
Hey, that's what we got a bunch of coaches in the chat, and they're saying the same thing. They're coaching high school in California, and they're like, these kids, we can't coach them. They think they're too good because they transferred 3 high schools already. And I'm like, shit, how do you do that? And Noel, I was gonna ask you, like, you and I, old school, like, how the hell do you coach these kids nowadays that are just transferring in high school looking for an NIL bag, and then in college it's the same way? And I just don't know how they're doing it. I don't get it. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. I kind of missed the whole the NIL deal in college, but now it's just got passed, I think, in Arizona this July, the NIL deals for high school guys. I think there's like 9 states now.
Yeah, 9 states.
Get it?
Yeah. High school.
So I don't know. I don't even worry about it, bro.
Hey, coach.
Well, if you want me to coach them, I say, hey, Google me.
You
want me to coach you? You want to come play for me? Google me. I don't need,
Hey, you're lying.
If you're coming for money, then I don't need you.
Hey, hell yeah. Google Coach Noel Mazzone if you want to fucking play football. Hey, let me ask you something. Smitty has questions.
Google me.
Hey, is JUCO dead? Number one, I got to ask you because I think JUCO is imploding in front of our eyes because of the portal. JUCO used to be the portal. Now it's like afterthought, and these high school kids are even sitting out waiting for a D1 guy to offer them while they'll sit out a whole year instead of go JUCO. I think it's killing JUCO. And then number two, both of you guys, does this many times, the amount of transfer times a quarterback is transferring, let's just say DJU, third school. How many other guys have we seen? Cam Ward, third school. Is it hurting the game as far as the production side of quarterback play? I think it's the worst I've ever seen. Great athletes, best athletes we've ever seen. I think it's the worst quarterback play I've ever seen. I think it has something to do with it, though. You're learning 3 philosophies in a matter of what, 28 months? I just don't think – I have to say that there's something to that. I just want to get you guys' take on both of those.
Well, I talked with Dylan and General. Those are 2 guys that just transferred and are starting. And, terminology is different. You have a lot of catching up to do in the off season. There's a lot to figure out, right? And so maybe the head coach doesn't feel as comfortable. Now, Dylan threw 49 passes, and he's a 6-year player. I mean, the guy's got super duper experience. But I think for most players, it's trying to learn a new offense is not that easy unless you understand what you're trying to do as a quarterback and offensively, what defenses throw at you. Boy, you're going to have a whirlwind of emotions and things that you got to adjust to. If you understand football at a high level, and those 2 kids do, they understand how to read the defense, then it's much easier. If you're a freshman kid that doesn't play and goes somewhere else and hadn't really learned college football, don't really understand defenses, fronts and coverages and looks and blitzes and what you're supposed to do as a quarterback footwork, then you're really screwed. So it really comes down to the quarterback experience, what they have already filtered through their system and through their brain to answer that question, I think.
All right, let me bring you guys to the real world, right? Damn it. All right, all this stuff. The days are gone, JB, where you came into a system, triple-digit system. You came into the West Coast offense. You had to learn the terminology. You had to learn 3-step drop, 5-step drop, 7-step drop. You had to learn how to hitch. You had to learn how to check plays from one side to the other. You had to know how to change protections at the line of scrimmage. You had to know all this stuff, right? Well, now you don't have to, all right? Because that's where offense is now. And just watch the Kansas City Chiefs or any of these guys. Yeah. Hey, look at if that, and I do the same thing. Hey, if that guy runs out, hand it off. If he runs in, throw it to the bubble screen. All right. That's playing quarterback now. So it's no more about your athletic ability to be able to create throws and create arm angles and be accurate than it is the mental side of it. All right.
Let me ask you, before you guys leave, I got to ask you this one question. Are NFL coordinators that go to college, and specifically on the defensive side, because I saw 2 DCs from the NFL that Noel, you probably know well, get absolutely gashed by college OCs over the weekend. Bill O'Brien on offense absolutely gashed NFL guy at Florida State that, to me, didn't realize how to defend triple, how to defend RPO, what my tipsy-turvy line. You know, we had 2 guys in B gap. There was no spiller. They had nobody for the Q. Is NFL DCs dinosaurs when they come to this new college era where we're going tempo, card, triple, double, and RPO? Are they out of their world here?
I just think they haven't learned. They haven't adjusted yet. Like the guy who I got tremendous, like everybody does, respect for is I look at like the Andy Reids of the NFL and how he evolved. I mean, here's old school.
Yeah,
that's old school West Coast. Bill Walsh, right? Mary Mooch, all the guys. I had Brett. I just got to spend a year with Brett Favre at the Jets. I mean, it was West Coast, and this is how you did it, right? Yeah, and now you watch his offenses, and there's a ton of trickle up from the college offenses, and he's done a great job with Mahomes, making him a very productive quarterback. All right, using a lot of the exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, no doubt. Man, I'm excited to have you guys on Wednesdays going forward this year.
Yes, sir.
And I appreciate you guys. We're gonna kill it.
Next time, Josh and JB, will you let Smitty talk once in a while?
I mean,
JB was in this bag. I was like, let me just sit back. JB was catch up with y'all. So let me
hey, no, let me.
Where are you from? Where are you from?
I'm from Indianapolis, Indiana, man. I played in the MAC, Ball State, D tackle years ago. I'm out here on the West Coast in LA now with JB. So
did you play at with the high school in Indianapolis? James, dang it.
I went to the
Kevin
Warren
Sumlin.
Central High School.
Warren Central, baby.
Okay,
Warren Central Warrior.
My buddy Kevin Sumlin played high school ball in Indianapolis.
Yep.
JB told me that. He went to right?
Yeah, I can't remember.
I think he went to Arsenal, no?
Arsenal Tech?
I think so. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Me and you, I know we talked about JB a while ago.
Hey, no, Josh, we're going to be in the studio next week. We got a studio in LA, and we're going to be in there. I got the 100-inch, writable TV like ESPN, so we're all going to be on the board. I got DV Sport. We're going to break down the NFL games on Wednesdays with you guys, so we look forward to
So are you emailing us our tickets to LA and the hotel?
Yeah, we can do it in person anytime. If you want to come in person, we'll also go get on the boat if you guys want. So
let's do this.
I don't know with JB driving the boat. I don't know how comfortable I feel on that thing. So you need a little more practice.
Well, hey, no, brothers. Smitty's he want to act. Brothers don't go near the water. He do that shit. That motherfucker, he'll jump in the water with me. Don't worry.
Wear that life jacket.
Hey, when you come to Scottsdale next to see PP?
Man, I was just there a couple weeks ago, and then I was with him at the event in San Diego. His dad does that Wounded Warriors Veterans show every year. Yeah. Everybody was there on last Monday. So he's gone. They're gone to Chicago, I believe, this week, and then he's playing with Jim McMahon and all them in the AM, and then they're back, I think, next week, and I might go out there next week.
Make sure you holler at me. We gotta get Boots out here to
I know
tee it up with Perez.
Yeah, any day. Yeah. He loves you guys. So but Pat's just like, well, no, fuck no. He won't come over to the house when you invite him. So fuck him. So I'm like,
you guys give me like a 5-minute warning. Hey, we just threw the stakes on. Get up here.
Hey, Josh. He ain't lying, Josh. I get there and I'm like, hey, I'm here, fucker. He's like,
Yeah, that's
hey,
what he
fucker,
said.
I got family in town and shit. I'm like, fuck, just leave. Hey, man, I'm looking forward to the year with you guys, man. I appreciate you guys doing it. And are you guys doing the show still?
We're not doing it right now. We're not doing it, but we're working on that facility in Scottsdale where we're going to have a media room and like you're doing with your big screen TV and stuff like that. So we're kind of getting geared up for that. We've been working on putting this whole deal together. So the project facility is going to be unbelievable, and then we'll start working on our podcast from there.
Oh, bet. Okay, good. Well, we'll promote it all year long while you're on this show. So it's 7:30. Is 7 or 7:30 good for you guys on the West Coast going forward?
7:30 is great.
7:30 Pacific. So like it would be right now. You guys would come on Wednesdays.
Perfect.
All right, bet.
Yes.
All right, guys. I appreciate you. We'll see you next week.
Love you guys.
Love you guys.